and then we'll start live streaming in a moment. Actually, I see it's on already. Give me the A-OK, Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Yes, you are live, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone, both on our live stream as well as in the Rogers viewing audience this evening. And welcome to our official announcement this evening of our My Ideal City essay winners. This is an event that normally we would do as a special council meeting and do it more in the format of a council meeting in the council chambers, but obviously because of COVID, that makes it a little bit more difficult this year. So we've changed the format around to make it work. As we begin this evening, I would like to acknowledge that tonight we gather on the traditional territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We recognize our responsibility to serve as stewards for the land and honor the original caretakers who came before us. Our community is enriched by the enduring knowledge and the deep-rooted traditions of the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit in Kitchener today. So on behalf of Kitchener Council and the City of Kitchener as a whole, I'd like to welcome all of the students, the teachers, the friends, the family members, and others who are joining us this evening for our first My Ideal City event. I'd like to begin by thanking Carrie DeBrone and Helen Hall, the editors of the Kitchener Citizen, who have been partners with the City of Kitchener for this event since the beginning and will be posting the winning essays in their local monthly newspaper. Despite all of the challenges and the changes we've all endured due to the pandemic, I was so happy to hear that we had so many entries received as part of this year's My Ideal City contest. In fact, we received entries from many students between the ages of 10 and 12 from various schools throughout Kitchener. What became clear as we looked at these various submissions, each and every one of you is a future leader, a decision maker, and a visionary. What you think about your city matters, and I'm so pleased that all of you took the time to share your thoughts on what you feel would make Kitchener an even better place to live. We hope that you enjoyed this experience. I know that council and its staff certainly appreciate your interest and enjoy your participation in this event. And so now we would like to actually announce who the winners are. And so we have 14 winners this year, and they are as follows in no particular order. Eddie Arnett, Hallie Beam, Marina De Castro Kropiovici, Willow Eulenberg, Evangeline Gingrich, Jabrail Puna, Melanie Priest, Sadia Rahman, Onaka Roos, Malika Shikai, Ahmed Sultan, Hamza Syed, Sadie Trent, and Juniper Weber Mossel. Congratulations to all of the boys and girls who were selected. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you to everyone who participated and who submitted entries. And before we hear from the winners who will read their essays this evening, I want to remind all of the winners to please stay online until the very end, because what we want to do is take a group picture of all of you with council and also a group picture of all of you as a group. And so now we'll go into each of the presentations. And as we go from one student to the next, we have different members of council and senior management who will introduce the 14 students as they speak. And so the first person that I would have the pleasure of introducing is Eddie Arnett from King Edward Public School. Eddie, I invite you to turn on your mic and to share with us your speech.
Okay. My ideal city. My ideal city. My ideal city would be safe and good for the environment. It'd be by the beach with lots of sand and green space to walk. There'd be nice houses and apartments for people to live in. Cars would be allowed by people who really needed them, and everybody else would ride their bikes around the city, and the roads would be not so busy. My city would have schools for all the kids, as it's important to have their knowledge and to learn. There would be colleges and universities for older adults and kids, and there would be libraries for all of the people and all of the people and computers in them as well. My city would have stores and My city would have stores for groceries and no plastic bags or containers. You would have to bring them on your own, and farmers would bring fresh food to sell in stores. There'd also be lots of places to play sports and fun activities like concerts and shows and a big fair. And all of the houses and places would have all solar panel and wind power to use less energy. The city would need to have companies that make things so that you would have jobs for everyone. People would be kind anytime there's any trouble, and they would have help from older people to help work it out. The ideal city would be a great place to live, and more people would want to come, and it would get bigger. I'm finished.
Thank you, Eddie. Hello, everybody. I'm Justin Reedman, General Manager of Development Services with the City of Kitchener. I would like to introduce Holly Beam from Sotheby Public School. Holly, please go ahead and read your essay.
My name is Holly Beam and I live in Kitchener, Ontario. I believe that Kitchener is an amazing city, but I have some ideas to take it one step further. The city of Kitchener could plant more trees like oaks, maple, bitternut, hickories, American beech, black willow, and the sycamore, which are all native to southern Ontario. The city of Kitchener could plant these trees in parks and public spaces to add shade so people could go there and relax in the shade of a beautiful tree. They could also plant some of the trees by the roads so the carbon dioxide from the cars could be turned into oxygen fairly quickly. It would also help a lot if the city could have more homeless shelters so the homeless people could get off the streets and have a hot meal and a place to stay. Having a home also gives them an address which could get them off, which could help with a resume and getting a job. The homeless shelters should also have different rooms for homeless people to sleep in. That way everyone can have their own privacy. They could also provide education for people who never got a full one and have places where they can get clothing. The city of Kitchener could also look at the salaries of different people, and if there are big injustices, they should try and solve them by making the salaries equal. This would help women, racialized, and LGBTQ+ in this city make the same amount of money as others, and it would also help to have more equality in the city. That's my ideal city and some of my ideas to take an amazing city one step further.
All right. Thank you, Holly. Hi, I'm Dave Schneider, Ward 2 Councillor with the City of Kitchener. I would like to introduce to you Marina Del Castro Kropivica from Williamsburg Public School. Marina, welcome, and let's hear your essay.
My name is Marian, and I have many reasons why nature is important ideas how we can help. First of all, trees are important to the environment because they store carbon dioxide and make oxygen for us to breathe. And some trees are homes to birds who build their nests there. And flowers are beautiful, and bees get the pollen from the flowers to make honey. So I suggest that everyone start using electric cars because gas cars pollute the air. To produce the gas, we extract petroleum that comes from fossils. It is a non-renewable source of energy, and the smoke it generates is bad for plants, animals, and humans. Unlike gas cars, electric cars don't pollute the air. I think there should be bike stations around the city, but someone is going to have to clean the bikes, so there should be a law that after using a public bike, the one has to clean the bike. I think smoking really should be illegal. It isn't just polluting the air, but it isn't good for us either. It is very unhealthy. It's scientifically proven that people get cancer from smoking. People really should not keep throwing trash in the streets. It is bad for the animals because they think it's food, and it's also polluting the ground. So I think there should be more trash cans in the streets. Sincerely yours, Marina.
Excellent job, Marina. Hi, everybody. My name is Scott Davey. I'm the Ward 1 counselor in the City of Kitchener. I would like to introduce Willow Eulenberg from Williamsburg Public School. Willow, please go ahead and read your essay.
Imagine a city where no one has to worry about climate change, or if the streets are safe to walk on. My name is Willow Eulenberg. I go to Sudbury Public School, and I would like to share some of my ideas about my ideal city. My ideal city would be a place where everyone has a home or a place to stay dry. Most of us don't think about not having a home or needing water because most of us have water, food, and a warm place to stay. So I think we should build more homeless shelters. Climate change is a big problem, but some of the things we can do are not just go carbon neutral, but we can plant more trees, especially oak trees. They absorb the most airborne pollution, and one tree can absorb up to 10 pounds of air pollution in a single year. One oak can live up to 400 years. To also help fight climate change, we can use green roofs because green roofs will reduce heat functions to the roof, leading to decreased energy demands. Green roofs will last up to 50 years, so you won't have to change your roof for a long time. And last of all, to help fight climate change, we can change a lot of the street lights to LED lights because LED lights last longer, are more reliable, and will lower maintenance costs while reducing greenhouse gases. Thank you for listening. I hope you can use some of my ideas for improving Kitchener.
Thank you so much, Willow. Great ideas about climate change. Hello, everyone. I'm Sarah Marsh, Ward 10 counselor with the City of Kitchener. And I would now like to introduce Evangeline Gingrich from Sudbury Public School. Evangeline, please go ahead and read your essay.
Hello, bonjour. My name is Evangeline G. from Sudbury Public School, and if I built a time machine and went to the future Kitchener, this is what I'd imagine it to look like. I stepped out of the time machine to blinding sunlight. I walked down the street. The sidewalks looked as if to be made from recycled material. On second thought, they probably were. All around me were trees, beautiful trees. And looking up at the sky and hearing the birds sing, their melodies made me feel peaceful. But soon I was whisked away. I find myself walking on a street covered in beautiful art from around the world. There were drawings of people and paintings of flowers that would make one smile on a rainy day. At the end of the street, there was a lovely house with a sign that read, "A house for the homeless" in fancy script. But there wasn't just one house, but 3. As I traveled deeper into this wonderful place called Kitchener, I found a community garden. The garden had all types of flowers and plants. There was even an ungroomed area for monarch butterflies. And next to the garden was greenhouses. And like the homeless house, the greenhouses had a sign, but this sign said self-serve. Inside, I found an assortment of food like cucumbers, grapes, tomatoes, and many more. Leaving the greenhouses, I set off across the street, which didn't have very many cars, mostly bicycles, and the ones that drove by were electric. Now that's my future Kitchener.
Thank you so much, Evangeline. Hello, everyone. I'm Christine Michaud, Ward 4 Councillor with the City of Kitchener. It is my pleasure to introduce Jibrail Puna from Grow Public School. Jibrail, please go ahead and read us your essay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this exciting opportunity. I had so much fun researching and writing this short essay for you all. My name is Jibrail Puna. I am a 5th grade student of Grow Public School in Kitchener. I am writing this essay to express what I believe could be done to make Kitchener a better place. I had the pleasure of speaking with Dana Edwards, one of the many city planners for Kitchener. She and I discussed many issues that are currently facing this growing city. Amongst many challenges we discussed, one of the current problems I believe Kitchener is facing is the housing crisis. The issue has increased the housing market, which can lead some new homeowners into challenging financial situations. In my opinion, a solution worth discussing can be to provide families in need with additional support. We can do this by providing financial relief, one of which can be by providing produce to our struggling community through local food banks at a minimal cost. Here is how. The City of Kitchener can convert the human waste collected and processed at a local treatment plant into fertilizer. The fertilizer is then donated to the local farmers to fertilize their crops. In return, the farmers can donate a portion of the crops back to the city. The city uses local charitable organizations, such as Operation Tiny Home, to help disperse the produce to the local community in need. In conclusion, I truly believe that the solutions I've stated above can provide people in need with some financial help and opportunity to contribute back to our local economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jibrail. That was some really good essay. Hello, everyone. I'm your Ward 7 Councillor for the City of Kitchener, Bill Ioannidis, and I would like to introduce to you Melanie Prius from St. Mark's Catholic School. Go ahead, Melanie, and read your essay.
An ideal city should have many different things. It should have welcoming, clean neighborhoods and different arts and cultures. Everyone should have utilities such as clean water and electricity. Different cultures help bring new ideas and traditions to a community. Property taxes are important because it helps a city build roads, pools, sport fields, parks, and community centers, trails, and recreation. These settings allow you to get out of your home and exercise. There needs to be schools and libraries so you can get an education and learn new things. In a library, you can learn how to read, and there are a bunch of programs to allow everyone to access computers, 3D printers, and books. There should be malls and stores so people can buy food and different things for their family. Another thing an ideal city needs is safety, rules, and regulations. Then people can be safe and not get hurt. Jobs are also important so people can help the city improve and help around to make it safer. One of the last things it needs are hospitals, because if someone gets hurt, nurses and doctors will help and make it better. The thing I would add that an ideal city needs are arts and cultures. I think this because then people in Canada learn different things from people who aren't from Canada. This will make a city more fun and enjoyable and bring different traditions to the city. These are some things an ideal city needs.
Great job, Melanie, and thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Galloway Seelock, and I'm the Ward 5 Councillor for the City of Kitchener. I now would like to introduce Sadia Rahman from the Williamsburg Public School. Sadia, please go ahead and read your essay.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. My name is Sadia Rahman. I want to tell you about my ideal city. First, let's start off with something small. Prepare to be amazed. I think there should be more benches. The reason is people can rest and take small breaks. A lot of people travel and walk, and it would be good for them to have some rest. There should also be more garbage cans, so people can throw out their trash better instead of littering. It would help the environment. No one would throw it on the ground or in the water. It would also help many animals as well. I would also consider putting more hospitals because if someone gets injured, we can quickly take them to the hospital. It will help them with their health and we can save more people, less death, and more lives will be saved. And you know what else I think? No taxes. Taxes are really annoying and it will be not fair for the people who worked hard to have some of their money taken away. It would be amazing if they could just have it to themselves since they worked hard, because who knows what people are going through and if they are in need of money. I think that's all for my ideal city. Thank you for reading and I hope you liked it. These issues may not be big for some people, but it is to me. I hope someday in the future one of these ideas come true.
Thank you very much, Sadia. And these issues are definitely important to many of us, especially no taxes and the benches. I like the benches part, might even steal that idea for myself. Definitely agree with you. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Singh. I'm the counselor for Ward 6 with the City of Kitchener. And it's a pleasure to introduce Anik Rouse from Sudbury Public School. Anik, please go ahead and read your essay.
I believe Kitchener is a wonderful place to live and I enjoy living here. Hello, my name is Annika and I'm a grade 5 student at Sudbury Public School. My first idea for Kitchener is more funding for animal shelters / animal rescues and daily checkups on different organizations. I personally adore animals and each one deserves an amazing life and human, especially ones who have been abused / injured and or had a rough life. We also need more homeless shelters. Many people are in need and deserve a warm, safe place to live, especially in winter. Another idea that would make Kitchener so much greater is more community fridges and community gardens. Due to COVID-19, many people have lost their jobs and money has been tight for many of them. People would sign up to be a volunteer or to take care of the garden and or the community fridge. This way, people with less money or homeless people will be able to take from the community fridge, and for the garden, people will have a free and local source of fresh vegetables and fruit. My final idea is a green roof on the City Hall of Kitchener. A green roof on the City Hall will suck up water when it rains and take in CO2. And in summer or on hot days, it will attract less heat than a black roof, and the plants will get quite a lot of sun. Also, let's be honest, a green roof is a lot more interesting than a plain roof. Thank you for considering my ideas to
Councillor Chapman, I think you're next.
Sorry, I was on mute. I mean, it wouldn't be complete if somebody wasn't on mute.
No, exactly. It's part of
Sorry.
the tradition.
So I apologize. So I just want to say thank you, Annika, for some wonderful ideas. Everything from, you know, a green roof, community fridge, homeless shelters. They're all wonderful ideas, and thank you. I'd like to introduce, I'm Debbie Chapman, City Councillor for Ward 9, and I'd like to introduce Malika Shikai for, if you could please go ahead and read your essay.
Okay. My ideal city. Many things make up an ideal city. Some things that I think make up an ideal city are neighborhoods, schools / education, and parks and trails. Schools are important in an ideal city because if no one has education, who will be running schools, hospitals, and other important services? Also, some adults don't know the common language in their community, so a language school is important so people can communicate with others. They won't be able to provide for their families and themselves. Education is important for an ideal city so people can run places, get jobs, and communicate with others. For example, job interviews. Neighborhoods are essential in an ideal city. People can make you happy and you can share materials and other things with them. For example, you can ask for a shovel. You also have opportunities for recreation and games. Most important, you have residents to talk about your feelings with. Neighborhoods can be great in ideal cities because you have someone to talk to, there are recreation and game opportunities, and if you don't have materials or other items, you can always ask your neighbor. Parks and trails are great for an ideal city. They are like outside areas for people who live in apartments or people who don't have backyards. Also, they keep you healthy. Overall, they make you feel good and you always have something to do. Parks keep you happy, healthy, and they are playing areas for people. And that's it.
Councillor Gazzola, you're next.
Yeah. I thought I was unmuted. I apologize for that. Malika, thank you very much. You had a lot of good points there. My name is John Gazzola. I am the counselor for Ward 3 in the city of Kitchener. It is my pleasure to introduce Ahmed Sultan. He's a grade 7 student from Queensmount Public School. I had the opportunity earlier this afternoon to have a telephone chat with Ahmed, and I was very impressed. And so now, Ahmed, go ahead. I'm looking forward to listening to you, so please go ahead and read your essay. Thanks.
Voluminous city. It is evident that most cities are impenetrable and have compact areas. However, I most certainly disagree with the fact that most cities are explicated by their size and population. Although I can't change anything about how these cities are mainly considered or what I need to change about it. But what I do know is that my ideal city is a lot different from others. The city of my dreams is neither too big nor small. It is clean, entertaining, and most importantly, safe. It allows many individuals to live the life of their dreams and pride themselves on being in the city. My ideal city will provide small programs that will prepare and edify in its selection of computer programming, in which we believe these small organizations related to computing will immensely change what the city is most known for and worldwide automation. The city does not have any issues with religious freedom and will increase the good services like food banks, donations for people in need, and small fundraisers. Now, you may ask, what is one city I'm devoted to, as it's similar to the ideal city? And that is UAE's Abu Dhabi. UAE is a top country to deal with crime issues. In fact, Abu Dhabi has a 6% crime rate and taxes aren't required. There are more than 1,600 tech companies in the past 19 years. Abu Dhabi has free healthcare, and the opportunities for getting a job are way higher than cities you've normally heard of, such as New York City, Toronto, London, etc. Thank you so much for listening to me today and helping me create my ideal city more into reality.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Clean, entertaining, and safe. I agree. Those are great attributes for an ideal city. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. I'm Margaret Johnston. I'm the Ward 8 counselor with the City of Kitchener. I would like to introduce Aumza Syed from Queensmount Public School. Aumza, please go ahead and read your essay.
Okay. I'd also like to thank Mayor Barry Rabinovich, members of the City Council, and especially other recipients of this award for coming here. Before I begin, I'd like to say that there's no concrete definition of what my ideal city is, but this serves as a foundation for it. With that being said, I'll begin. Leaving a footprint. The purpose of my ideal city cannot be found in any high-rise building, nor can it be found in a small home. In fact, no hard structure can ever be built to get a glimpse of the gates being opened. More importantly, it is in the invisible structures around and undergirding these hard bodies for what this city is and to become. You see, I like to picture living somewhere as running barefoot. The skin of our feet collects the seeds and rocks until we put on shoes that make of everything we have picked up. Residents in this city will grow up in systems that believe in each and every one of them and empower their potential. Again and again, they will be reinforced that potential knows no color and no creed, and that there is no limit to what they are capable of becoming. For in this great equalizer of the city society, many important routes will open to help habitants flourish. See, through this, we will be able to carry our ideas with one another despite differences, and be able to create a working model of a city through such peace. This revolution will be carried on the soles of the residents' feet and leave a footprint. It's when we empower thousands of people that thousands of problems will be solved. It's when we set off thousands of peaceful revolutions in every family, issue, and community how we can most powerfully take on any issue. That was my essay. I hope you enjoyed it. And I think this is really central to building what my ideal city is. And once again, I'd like to thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Humza. It's a great reminder that we need to be mindful of the invisible structures that we're building and the footprints that we're leaving behind. That was a great essay. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Chapman, Chief Administrative Officer with the City of Kitchener. And it's my pleasure to introduce now Sadie Trant from Sotheby Public School. Sadie, please go ahead and read us your essay.
Kitchener is a great city. I love it. It is my home. I'm 10 years old and I go to Sotheby Public School. My name is Sadie. I have some ideas to make Kitchener an even better place to live in. I think that there should be more art downtown. Art is beautiful and makes people feel happy. It will make the downtown a place where people will feel safe and comfortable. Some of my ideas of art downtown are crosswalk designs. I also think that there should be more places for people to spray paint, for instance, on the side of a building. I think that if people were allowed to do that, then not so many people would do it illegally. There are a lot of talented people out there that I think would love a chance to show their talent. I also think that there should be more public gardens where people can sit down and grow their own food. There can be an area for kids to play. There can also be flowers, a place where the city could plant more trees. I think we should make more places for dogs to play. They're just as important as us. Trees provide shade and help prevent climate change. Regarding climate change, there should be more green roofs in Kitchener. Green roofs create good oxygen and help with climate change. They have a drainage system and a root repellent system, so they're better than a normal roof. They're also interesting and pretty. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my essay. I hope you take these ideas into account.
Thank you, Sadie. That was a great essay. And I think through your eyes, we will have an even more beautiful city. I agree with you. Art is so important. And I think if we listen to all of the youth on today's call, we can agree that the future is bright for the City of Kitchener. Thank you, everyone. I'm Victoria Robb, General Manager of Corporate Services with the City of Kitchener. And I would like to introduce Juniper Weber-Massel from Sotheby Public School. Go ahead, Juniper, read your essay.
Dear City Council, my name is Juniper and I'm a grade 5 student. I have lived in Kitchener for my entire life and have some ideas about how to make it better. My first idea is about having more treed parks and playgrounds. By parks, I just mean places to sit under trees and read or listen to birds, play hawk, draw, really anything. So basically small treed green spaces. For the playgrounds, just a simple play structure, swings, climbers, fountain, etc. Not too many bright colors, maybe soft greens and browns, with trees close enough to give a good amount of shade and incorporate into play. Where, for example, there's an empty lot that was going to have some big ugly apartment building, but after cutting down all the trees, the construction was discontinued. Places like that are probably available for buying or already property of the city, so are optimal for this kind of project. I think that this would be enjoyed by people with small backyards or none at all, anybody wanting to get out of the house and or gather with others. My second idea is about adding things like bat boxes, birdhouses, squirrel nest boxes, etc. The public would probably love seeing the creatures it attracted, and they might develop special connection. Also, it would help lessen the number of squirrels and bats in people's homes, which would be greatly appreciated by both parties. Those were my ideas on a few things Kitchener could do to improve. Thank you.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. I mean, as I listened to all 14 of you, and what was really interesting for me was where there were similarities in some things that you raised, but also where there were differences. One of the things that I found really encouraging was how many of you, in one way or another, talked about the environment, because that is something that is so important as we go forward, and as we think about our planet and how we can impact climate change and so on. But so many of you have had such amazing ideas, and as Mr. Rob said, clearly the future of our city is in very capable hands when we have young people like you who take an interest already at your age, and will hopefully continue to be engaged as you grow up and continue to be involved. I think if I can ask members of council, I think it's worthwhile that we turn our mics on, and let's give them all a big round of applause.
Done.
So what we want to do now is we actually want to do a group photo. So if I can ask senior staff and everyone who's on the call, who wants to be part of the picture, to turn your cameras on, and invite the students to make sure you keep your cameras on. So we're going to do one big one with everybody, and then we're going to do one with just the 14 of you. So I'm going to hide the non-video participants, and perfect. So I'm going to get it all set up. We're going to do this twice. And so we'll do on the count of three, and we're going to say cheese, okay? Oh, actually, no, better than cheese. How about on the count of three, we all say Kitchener? 1, big smiles. 1, 2, 3, Kitchener. Okay, and we're going to do this one more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, Kitchener. Awesome. And so if I can ask all of the adults to turn your cameras off, and that should leave 14 on. I'm going to turn mine off as soon as I make sure that all of you are there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Councillor Gazzola, I'll just stop your video if that's okay, to help you out. And I'm going to stop mine now. And that leaves the 14 of you. So we're going to do a big group picture. On the count of 3, big smiles. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do it one more time. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. We can ask council and so on to turn your cameras back on now.
Barry, Mayor
Yes.
Barry. All
Yes.
I can see is one big photo on my screen. Is that how it's supposed to look? Like you are the only one I can see. And then
Well, that's because I was talking, but I could only see the 14 of them.
you can see. So you took. I did, okay. I wanted to make sure I got
Yeah,
the
don't worry.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So so boys and girls, as we wrap up this year's My Ideal City, we want to once again say a really huge thank you to all of the schools, all of the principals, all of the teachers who worked with us, and for their interest in this annual event, and for encouraging students to participate. We know this has been a particularly challenging year for all of you as students, but also for all of them as educators and staff. And we give all of you a real shout out for all of the efforts that you've been going through, and as well as all of the supports from your parents who have been supporting you through the year, particularly during the times we've been learning from home. I want to once again give a shout out to our friends at, to Carrie and Helen at Kitchener Citizen. They have been such an integral part of our community for so many years. In fact, this year marked the 25th anniversary of the Citizen, and they have been a great partner with the city, not just on this, but on so many other initiatives. So I want to really thank them. And I want to remind everyone to look for all of the winning essays, which will be published in the June edition of the Kitchener Citizen. So thank you to everyone who took the time and effort to submit a My Ideal City essay. We could only pick 14 for tonight, but all of you are winners for having participated and for taking time to share your vision for how to make our city better. And lastly, thank you to the 14 of you and your families for joining us this evening and for sharing your vision. And afterwards, you know, send out the link to your classmates and your grandparents and friends and aunts and uncles and anybody else that you want to share your presentation with. And we'll have a little thank you coming in the mail to all of you to thank you for the work that you've done. So with that, I just want to say thanks everyone, and stay healthy, stay safe, and as one of my friends say, stay positive, but test negative. And with that, keep awesome, everybody. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.